Now we're starting the final stages of Dinky Dino. I'm going to start off with, I've got some lettering. We've got some 20mm and 8mm, so we'll see what they look like. They're going to be bold, but we'll go from there. Now, using the letters, I had to cheat a bit because I did not have a small case F. These letter sets, they're only capitals, so you are limited. And also I really needed 3 sizes, so I cheated a little bit, which doesn't hurt, you know, artistic license. So what I've done was, because I didn't have a small case F, it wouldn't look right. So what I've done is, I've done a dash to the F just to stretch it out a bit. And I think it looks quite nice, I'm happy with that. It's murder getting these letters straight, but they do adhere well. And then on the front, again with the numbers are supposed to be smaller and across here. So I've put them higher, so I know that they could have fitted, but I just thought I'd put them there. It was and plus I had a natural line to follow. And where this is rough from the 3D printing, I don't think they would have adhered so well, so another reason. And again, I copied it onto the front. So we've got the lettering done, that's another thing out of the way. Now I've got to look into doing some dusting, because I think I need to just dust the wheels down a bit. If I clean them with alcohol and give them a light scuff, it should dust nicely. And then just probably dust the lower level. I think that's all it needs, because this is well patinated on the gun, as you know. Just raise it up a bit. You can see that is patinated there, but it shows up different. And I think if it's just dusted off on the bottom to show dirt on the bottom, because I was on a train yesterday, and when you're watching the train come in the other side, you can look at the bottom and it's only dirty here, very slight dirtying up here. So if I can get the mixture right for some sort of brown paint, which they say do really thin and put on very light and controllable, and we'll see how we go. Now I hope you can see the difference in colouring from the top to the bottom. So I'm going to try and dull that down a bit and see how that goes before I go for this spray dusting along across the lower section to make it look dusty like it does in real life. Yeah, so my biggest worry is going too far. So I'm going to have a go, and a little bit at a time, and see how it comes out. I've done quite a bit of dry brushing as far as I'm going to go on the sides. It's not as heavy as the gun. Now we're going to try some spray dusting. So I'm going to spray the wheels separate. But what I've done is I've covered them with cling film, so it raises the truck up for spraying. So I'm going to try and work out how to mix the paint and have a go. There we go, it's had a good dusting of the paint, as the train would look. I went heavier lower down, and I listened, well, I had a quick look on the internet, and where normally they said thin the paint right out, somewhere else said don't thin the paint so much, but spray more from a distance, and it goes on better. Well, I've coated the whole lower section, and it's now been sealed with satin lacquer. So it's darker. It looks darker to me than what it does on the screen of the camera, but I think it looks good. I re-lightened up the silver a bit on the buffer ends, but that's as far as I'm going with the weathering. Now to take the wheels off, do them the same, and I'm calling it a day. Now, as the build is unclassified as done, now the budget. Considering how much the T-Rex costs and what you can spend on it, Tom Lee RC, he spent $5,000, he said. Well, this has cost a fraction of the price and looks good. I've not sold off parts I can make a bit of money off, so this is clean cut without selling anything off how much this cost. And the total cost is £451.15, which I don't think is too bad, considering that's a complete ready to run car. That was wheels and tyres, a sound unit, lights, 2 servos, extra for the gun. Well, one was put on the steering to give me 1 servo there, and I swapped the servo into another car to give me 2 servos with long wires, so that weren't bad. Ball ends was £10.40. First lot of paint was £10.70. Extension wire was 99p. Yeah, and there was other stuff. Plastic was £40. Spray paint, more spray paint, 15. Reel of filament was £12.50 because I've gone through a whole filament. But when you've got to realise I have designed over 50 parts myself for this build, and I've modified a few others, so it's quite a colossal lot of 3D printing. The lettering, just to do the front letterings and the side, I had to buy 2 lots, and with that postage, the 2 packs cost me £18. And then I had to get more paint to finish off the dry brushing and the gun and all that, and that was another £14 worth of Tamiya paint. So I think for £4.51, and once I've sold the bits I've got left over off, I might be able to knock off £30 to £35 off that. But it's an epic truck, and that does include everything. But time wise, the hours that has gone into this with designing and everything, it's well above 300 hours. Because the CAD designing does take a lot of time, especially being such a newbie to it, and not always it works as well as you want to, and you can sort of bang your head against the wall. But thanks for staying with me on this very long build, and it has been a long build, and I hope you enjoyed it, and shortly you will see it running.